Hello everyone, Glenn Denman here, working on the 2002 MCI coach today on the conversion to an RV. And this video today is an introductory video into what took place to shave the foam insulation off after having sprayed it. And of course I ended up with a lot of high spots and a lot of waste. There's still some on the floor. I've already rolled up the plastic here. This bundle of plastic is full of foam waste, and this other plastic's just folded up sitting there. But I wanted to get the plastic out of here so I could kind of start doing some layout and things like that. But this video, I've already made the videos on everything that I did with this ceiling, but I didn't really have a good introductory video to kind of explain what was going to happen in those videos. So some of these videos get a little bit convoluted because I kind of try to tape them as I go, but then they don't really seem to flow together very well. But anyway, so the video today is on how I shaved the ceiling off after I had, after I sprayed all that bumpy foam on, and how I had made this foam saw here that I used to shave the ceiling. And basically I'll just kind of show just a little bit of a illustration how I ended up doing that, and it worked out pretty well. So I ended up shaving off the whole ceiling like this, and with this saw that I made, and it was not easy, and I would not necessarily recommend doing something like this. I'm just showing you what I did, and there's probably better ways to do it, but I didn't want to spend days and days on devising a way to do it. I wanted to just get it done. So what I ended up doing was sawing. I would kind of start where I had the framework, where I had the tape on it, so I could get it all the way up in there where I wanted it to be. And then I would just saw back and forth. But I started to realize I can only go back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times before the foam would hit the beam. So I'd go back and forth a couple times, and then I'd have to break it off. Back and forth, break it off. Back and forth, break it off, all the way on the whole ceiling. So as you can see, it came out pretty well, and I'm very pleased with the results. But anyway, the rest of the video will be on how I achieved that result, and I hope you guys find it interesting. There's definitely better ways of doing it, I'm sure, and but this worked out for me. I wanted a very, very smooth surface, but it worked out really well, so that's what today's video is on. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. So I'm at my shop again. I'm going to go ahead and build a foam saw out of some sheet metal that I've got here. And it'll just be a matter of cutting a few strips and fastening them onto a 2x4 or something like that. And I already tested this out, and it looks like it's going to work real well for that. So I'll make it long enough to where it'll span the framing members that are about 5 feet apart. So I'll make it about 7 or maybe 8 feet long, and it's just some scrap sheet metal I've got laying around, so we'll see how that works out. So now that I've cut all these pieces out, I'm going to fasten them to this piece of aluminum I-beam that I have here, and hopefully make an effective kind of a seesaw out of this thing, and so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I've got about 30 minutes into this thing. Not too bad. Some scrap sheet metal, scrap piece of aluminum I-beam, and I've got these all fastened on. Looks like a great big saw, and it's pretty straight, so I think that will do the trick. So I'll go out to the bus, see how it works. I don't know, that doesn't seem to work too well. Either that or it's just a lot of work. So I'll figure out something else. So I installed a couple of handles on this thing, and let's see how that does. Maybe that'll be easier. Nothing easy about it, that's for sure. Once I start getting it close, should work pretty good. tell you what, this is work. So my method with the big saw is somewhat effective, but it's very difficult. And so I think what I'm gonna do is take my oscillating saw and just try to take off the high points, or maybe even my Sawzall with a long blade like I see a lot of people on YouTube doing, and get it to where it's close. Then I think this big seesaw here will finish it off to where it's pretty smooth. It'll smooth it pretty well, but it's not really taking the initial off very easy. So if I can get it down to where the clumps are all off and that kind of thing, then maybe this will go a little bit better. So we'll see how that goes. So we got part of this done. I got one bay here done, and I like the way it's nice and flat with the framing all the way around here. And it's gonna be a lot of work. Problem is, I still have all these cavities in here that I need to figure out, and that's really irritating. I don't know if I should get some more of this stuff and just fill those areas or what. But either way, I'm gonna shave all this down. If I do end up filling those areas, maybe I can get another like 200 board foot set or something and do that. But man, so theoretically, my 600 board foot ceiling has already taken, theoretically, or it's not theoretical, but my ceiling is 600 board feet. The theoretical part is that I've managed to put 1,200 board feet of foam in it, and it still isn't filled all the way. Granted, there's a lot of high spots that maybe would make up for a little bit of that, but not that many, really. But I like the foam, and I really appreciate Tiger Foam providing another complete set. If I add another set to this, a small set, I'll probably just pick up a 200 board foot set, and from wherever, maybe I can order it from them, just to finish it up. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. It's a lot of work. I'm going to take a break for today, try to finish this up by the end of next week, or this week or whatever, and see how that goes. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Hello, Glenn Denman here. Just finishing up on the ceiling of the bus. Actually, I finished it a couple of days ago, but I've been spending a bunch of time shaving off the insulation, and I don't know how much you can see here. It's kind of dark, but I'm very, very pleased with this last application. I've got it almost all level, except for just a few places like this one, and there's another one back here. This one here, for some reason, when I went back through on my second application, or third application, whichever one it was, I kind of missed this spot, but it's only about maybe a ½ inch deep, so I can kind of fill that up. But then there's one more spot here, kind of a hole there, but that's probably 3/4 of an inch deep. But I'll take care of that kind of stuff. But for the most part, this whole thing came out really good. It's almost completely level with the framing. And this part here, by the time I put the walls on, that wall is going to extend up, wall covering is going to extend up to probably about here. And then the ceiling is going to extend down to where this foam stops. And so I'll just have to probably trim just a little bit off the sides here as I go along. And then I'll just have a little bit of a piece to put in there. But most of that's going to be behind cabinets and stuff like that. I'm not so sure about back here at the bedroom. Probably the bedroom will have more of just a wall that'll go up, maybe a 45-degree angle here, and then the ceiling. So, because I don't really, it's probably not going to be good to have cabinets right up along the ceiling there in the bedroom next to the bed. So anyway, but for the most part, I'm very pleased with this, how it came out. And you can see it's pretty level. I used my saw here, and this is the saw that I built for this process, and of course I'm done with that now. I'll take it apart, but it worked out really well. I was able to just scrub across a little bit at a time, break it off. Let me tell you, that was a lot of work. So the amount of waste here, you can't really see all of it. I've got some of the plastic laying over here, but I have quite a bit of waste, and that's to be expected, especially when you put it on pretty liberally, and then scrape it off. So the end product is that I ended up scraping off probably about anywhere from a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch, or whatever, pretty much off the entire ceiling, so that way it could end up nice and level like this is here. So it really came out good. I'm very pleased with it, and there's no high spots anywhere, and it's ready to receive the ceiling. So so it's been quite a process, and this is hopefully my last video on foaming the ceiling. And for the sake of full disclosure, I ended up, if you watch my previous videos, you know that I ended up, I got the $850 600 board foot Tiger Foam kit, and I sprayed the whole thing, which is about 600 board feet, just the ceiling, and I came up crazy short. It was maybe a ½ inch deep all the way through. I don't know what was wrong with it. So Tiger Foam, they volunteered to get me another set, another $850 kit for free. So I did that, and even with that, probably that application there, I oversprayed quite a bit of it, and so then when I shaved it all off, I still wasn't completely happy with it. So I ended up buying another 200 board foot kit just so I could finish it off, and that was around 450 bucks with shipping. So I ended up with about 400, theoretically 400 board feet, or excuse me, 1,400 board feet of material on my 600 board feet or board foot ceiling. But I have a lot on the floor, probably maybe 150 board feet, I'm guessing, and that's of course because I shaved it off. But I'm pretty happy with the results. So so hopefully my next video I'll be able to put together actually putting the ceiling on in here. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see how the rest of this goes. I'm just going to go ahead and play this on time lapse while I'm cleaning up, and it's just kind of fun to watch, so at least it is for me anyway. So appreciate everybody watching. Take care.
Molly.